Welcome everybody to Live with LaRisa. Today we have Jason Knight. He is our mayor hopeful of this election. We are at Coastal Bend Kayak, and Hector has graciously hosted us today. Thanks, Dad. Love ya. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, first let me say, Coastal Bend Kayak has been in business for over 25 years. They specialize in kayak rentals, tours, and fishing trips. So if you're interested, give Hector a call for special rates for locals. So Jason, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you. So let's tell me more about yourself. I know a little bit, but...
Well, I was born in the hospital Aransas Pass, where the current hospital is now. There was one in this place. It was the Lyman Roberts Hospital. And my mom's joked around when I was born that they had to tear down the hospital and build a new one. And I've lived in Aransas Pass ever since. I first got elected to the council at the end of 2020, and I'm on my third term serving as your place 2 city council member currently.
Third term?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, it's a long time. Any special ladies in your life?
Yes, I have a girlfriend. Hi, Cheryl. She might be watching, or she'll watch afterwards. And I've got a couple kids. Son just turned 19 this year, and my daughter just turned 17. And real good kids, got good heads on their shoulders, and they're in the process of deciding which way they want to go in life, because I know all of us been there. We want to be doctors, lawyers, everything, and then I know they'll get it figured out, so it's leaving it on their own.
That's awesome. Did they go to school here?
Yes.
Awesome. Love it. Staying in AP. So do you have any current community service that you're currently working on right now?
Well, since I got elected, I know I'll make it a point. We have citywide cleanups that get put on by a code enforcement officer, and I attend all of them because the more we need in town is more community involvement, and we'll get different people sporadically doing the cleanups, but I make it a point to attend every one of them, because that's a problem in town. Is illegal dumping, and anything I can do to help that, I'm there.
Right. And there's various things that I've seen you been a part of in our community pages. So I've seen you around. You're easy to spot and get a hold of.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Oh yeah, getting a hold of is easy. My phone number is everywhere.
Yeah.
That's something I'm very accessible. Number is 361-816-8572. So whoever doesn't have it, write it down. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to call or text me anytime.
Yeah, you got it now. Hope you had a pen. So I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So you've been in city council for a few years now. Is there a specific project that you led from start to finish?
Well, you can never say, a council member in America can never say they've led anything, because it takes the council as a whole. But one thing I have been a part of heavily are the 3 fixed storm pumps we have on the east end of town. And with we have one on East Maddox Street, East Goodnight, and on the south end of the Euclid Ditch. And matter of fact, I've talked to the Public Works Director today, because we've had a brand new pump on East Wheeler that I brought up probably a year ago, and keeping the fingers crossed, it looks like it's getting ready to enter into the design phase, which that will be the 3 pumps that are running now have been a huge help, but the 4th pump will be a tremendous help, because we've had a drainage study done in 1982, and the pumps that just got replaced, that's how old they are. And when they're put in, that is the best equipment that we had at our fingertips at the time. And in that drainage study, that study said if we put one on East Wheeler, that would help the Maddox pump and the Goodnight pump. It would relieve a lot of strain on them. But at the time the original pumps were put in, the city did not have the funds for it. So thankfully, when this project got kicked off, then it looks like it's going to come to fruition any day now.
Nice. That's exciting. Love a good water pump. Cool. So I really want to know, and I know a lot of the viewers and citizens want to know, what your thoughts are about the fire station. And there has been a lot of controversy about it. Can you give us a little bit of insight on why that is?
Yes, it was. Everyone in town knows that was controversial. And what should have happened with the fire station is to take controversy away from fire station. You're talking about a $16 million certificate of obligation. Well, that is one of the largest debt loads ever made in one motion since Aransas Pass was incorporated in April of 1910. If it would have been prepped, put on a ballot, and would have been in a form of a bond election and let the voters vote on it, there would be no controversy whatsoever on that issue. And I wholeheartedly believe that that would have been the result of this problem.
Okay. So you think maybe in the future this is something, especially with that dollar amount, that you would put on a ballot?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Because I mean, you'll hear, well, people vote for elected officials because they trust them, they trust their judgment to take care of handling day-to-day things. Well, there comes a time when something may come up and it gets the attention of the voter where they think, well, you know what, I'd like to have some input in it. And the best thing you can do is, it's like the old saying goes, you can't listen when your mouth's moving. So the best thing to do is, if you're an elected official and you have a majority of town wanting something, you might want to listen to them, because that's a motto I live by, and I will live by that until the last day I'm sitting in one of these elected positions.
Thanks. Like that. So during your campaign, you've made promises to be a mayor that can control meetings and work with the council as a whole. And that's excellent. But I also want to know, what is something tangible that you will spearhead that will directly and positively impact our community?
Well, the one thing that the mayor's sole duty during a council meeting is to run and conduct a smooth and orderly meeting. The 4 council members are the legislators. They're the ones that conduct policy. So what a mayor should do is let the council members argue back and forth, because everyone's got a different opinion. And that's great. That's why there's 5 elected seats. If everyone wanted to vote yes or no on something, all you need is one elected official. So the mayor should sit back, let the council come up and say, okay, this is how we want to do it, vote yes, no, and the mayor should sit back, let them set policy. And if the council members come to a stalemate, then that's the mayor's job to say, okay, I'm the tiebreaker, so I'm going to go with you 2 guys or these 2 guys. And another thing is, you have to have decorum in a meeting. Once you break decorum right off the bat, the mayor will lose control of the meeting, and that will tremendously affect city business, and it can spiral out of control and affect meetings. The fall meeting after that, a workshop here, special meeting, and then social media erupts, and then there's chaos.
Right.
And I mean, everyone that's been paying attention to social media the past few years, there's controversy and chaos everywhere. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's not sugarcoating anything.
Right. Okay. Well, yes, those are what we want in a mayor, but what I would really want to know is, I mean, having good meetings is something that a mayor is supposed to be doing,
yes,
making sure we get that done, and that's an excellent promise. That's definitely in the job description.
So,
what I really want to know is that there's anything specific
like
that you want to bring to this community.
Oh, like a project or something?
Yeah, anything that you think would be tangible for our city to know this is something that you're going to get behind on.
Yes, and I've actually talked to elected officials around our area, because you look north or the south, we've had a handful of businesses pop up here, which, don't get me wrong, that's great, we need it. But the towns around us are popping up like Legos. Mm-hmm. Well, I've asked these people, I said, what is it you guys are doing that Aransas isn't doing? And every one of them says, we have an economic development director on staff.
Okay.
So with the support of the council, I would like to bring an economic developer on board in Aransas Pass. Because the way it works now, if a potential business owner wants to bring development or open up a new business, they have to go to City Hall and either meet with a city manager or get the city manager on the phone. And it's, to speed this, well, let me backtrack. The problem with that is the city manager is in charge of the day-to-day operations of the city. They're dealing with staff, they're dealing with, let's say, working on a certain ordinance over here with the city planner. working with the police chief on an item over here. The city manager is not accessible all the time. What this economic development director will do is free up that extra load that the city manager doesn't need on their lap. And that development director will go out to the potential business owner. They can meet with them, show them lots around town that are available. They can take them around the harbor. And they can also say, well, the council is willing to sweeten up the deal. Let's get in there. Let's get you on the agenda, see what kind of business startup incentives we can get for you. Because that's another thing to get new businesses here. Most people have a lot of money, and I like saying this because it's half true. Most people have a lot of money for a reason. They don't like to spend it. And the first 5 to 6 years is you're in the hornet's nest if a small business, medium-sized, any business is going to succeed or not. So we can put on the table, hey, let's waive permit fees. Let's talk about waiving tap fees. If you're a big business with a big payroll on board, we can talk about waiving a year or two ad valorem taxes. The way things worked in Aransas Pass, they worked great, but something's broken in town right now, and I think we need to change. We need to change with the future and start doing things different. And I mean, I know a lot of people are scared to change on one of them, but if we want to accelerate getting more businesses here, we need to change something. We need to change it in a hurry.
Nice. So economic
development director.
Development director.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. I like that name. What's downward trend in the last 5 years in AP are you most proud of, and which one are you most concerned about?
Well, I'll probably change the word from proud to probably alarming. In the past 5 years, there is questionability about city leadership in town. You can see it through social media. I can see it out talking to people in town, and there's 2 things I believe that could change that. It's transparency as a whole through city leadership, more accessibility, and be able to answer people. If they ask a question, give them a yes or no answer. Don't circle around it. And if someone gets a hold of you, make sure you get back with them. And it's like Ruben's got this new deal on, and I just watched it before I came in here, and he's right. Council members we're part-time because most of us have a Monday through Friday job because we get a big paycheck as a council member of $1 a year, and I don't know anyone on the planet that could live day to day making $1 a year. So yes, of course, more community involvement, and that's a way to get more community involvement, is getting out in the community and talking to people. When you see somebody outside, talk to them, because there's an old saying that most people are not going to get involved with what's going on with the city unless something is directly affecting their buffer zone, which is their city block or in front of their street. I mean, there's people now that I've talked to that had no idea there was even an election this year until they had something directly affect them, and they started paying attention, and here we are.
Here we are. No, I agree. I've had a lot of people ask me what your why is, and I'm like, I just really want people to know what's going on in your community, because it's going to impact you whether or not you pay attention or not.
Yeah.
So. And
the second part of your question, the one that is concerning, is our city debt. We have just around a $40 million debt. We're running on around a $24 million budget. And what concerns me is all politics are relative. And no matter who's for who on the federal level, if a couple things go more quirky on the federal level and the housing market bubble bursts in this area and property values plummet, we're gonna be in some major trouble. And most people that pay attention to politics and pay attention to their tax bills will understand what I'm saying. And basically, we need to get a better handle on spending in this town. We need to pay more attention whenever it's budget time. We need to get back to prioritizing. Because not only the budget, I can challenge anyone that lives in this town. You can drive down every single city street and there's something wrong with it. There's problems with water supply. I mean, you name it. We have problems that I could sit here for 4 hours and rattle off problems. I mean, there's a lot at stake right now, and this is a time to start getting a handle on things.
Very well said. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and wrap up a little bit. We have a couple more questions.
Sure.
I want to know, what are your ultimate dreams that you have for this community, and how has this race impacted you so far?
Well, this race has impacted me because I thought, council member, running for mayor, it may ramp up a little bit, but I'll tell you, it's different because, you're running for mayor, you're the mayor. I mean, you're the guy that's got the target on their back. You're sitting in the middle of council members. But, I honor being elected. That's more than anybody knows. That's what I'm passionate about it. I will not turn my back on anyone. I will talk to anyone. And it's definitely a life-altering experience in a good way. That's for sure. And what was the second part of your question? I got tied up in that.
What are your ultimate dreams for this community? Like, anything.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario, the debt would be at zero.
Okay.
We would probably have, a lot of money in reserves so we could start doing major street repair programs. We could get city employees a cheaper health care rate than they have now. We could get better pay for every employee with the city, because I cannot do my job without rock solid city employees. I mean, that's something that I've helped get, that helped make happen here in town, is get some departments a little more money. And to see this drainage, the fixed drainage pumps fixed. And because the Euclid ditch, I brought that up, but we're getting ready to redesign that and going with a completely different design with a bigger pump. I'd say the biggest now is debt. I've been preaching the debt for a while, because that definitely that's our biggest problem. And the debt affects everything I'm talking about right now, whether it's streets, payroll,
right,
healthcare, you name it.
All right. Well, I think we went over pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the viewers before we head out?
No, I guess pay attention to all the information everyone's getting, because your vote's important. Your vote is your voice, and who you vote for to put in these 3 seats, I mean, that's you're deciding how the trajectory of your town's going to go for the next 2 years. And every day is always different. One day could get better, one day could get 10 times worse. So just talk to your friends, pay attention to everyone that's doing these interviews, and just take your time and make the right decision. And thank you everyone for watching.